Ating ulam,
A
Ampalaya.
false negative indirect antiglobulin test can be caused by which of the following? Inadequate washing of red blood cells. The following
sa
results are
ilalim ng
available on a
bayabas.
25-year-old male patient, PTG 56.8 seconds, mixing study performed PTG 55.8 seconds, PTG 57.0 seconds.
Rap.
Circulating anticoagulant. Lipase catalyzes the hydrolysis of which substrate?
Merong bangus.
Triglycerides. What is the principle of flame photometry? Emission of a color when an element is burned.
So good.
How
Ampalaya,
long
Malunggay.
pregnant women be deferred? 6 weeks postpartum. Small peptide formed during complement. Anaphylatoxin. What stain is positive for hairy cell leukemia? Acid phosphatase.
Sarap ng weather, mahangin.
Which one of the following organisms has a wide, refractive capsule? Cryptococcus neoformans. Elevated CSF total protein. Diabetes. What is the medium of choice for culturing gonococci and meningococci? Modified Thayer-Martin. Which enzyme is characteristically elevated in mumps amylase? Amylase. A peripheral blood smear from a patient with thalassemia would exhibit which of the following? Target cells, basophilic stem, teardrop cells.
So good.
Which platelet disorder is associated with abnormal primary aggregation? Glanzmann's disease. Secondary response to the same foreign antigen characterized by rapid increase in antibody synthesis. Anamnestic response. Which one of the following findings is characteristic of chronic lymphocytic leukemia? Lymphocytosis. All of the following systems may be used to determine specific gravity of urine except which one? Hydroelectric focusing. Salmonella, Shigella, and Escherichia coli have what in common? All members of Enterobacteriaceae. What is the major extracellular cation? Sodium. Which CBC parameter is a numerical expression of anisocytosis? RDW. A modal, gram-negative, slender, curved rod that is the cause of enteritis is best isolated on which agar? Campylobacter blood agar. If a cold agglutinin is suspected to be causing erroneous results, then what is the most appropriate action to take before reporting the results?
Sarap.
Incubate the specimen AT37 CFOR 15 minutes.
The best.
What is the hydrogen sulfide indicator in triple sugar iron agar? Sodium thiosulfate. Which of the following is true of the detection of urinary glucose? Any reducing substance can give a false positive reaction with the copper reduction method for glucose. The measurement of creatinine is based on the formation of a yellow-red color and which reagent? Alkaline pyrite. A high alkaline phosphatase level in the presence of the other negative liver function that is indicative of which disorder? Bone disorder. Function as an antigenic receptor site on the surface of B lymphocytes. IgM. Which leukemia has increased basophils and or eosinophils in the early stages? Chronic myelomonocytic leukemia. Cutaneous larva migrans or creeping eruption is caused by which organism? Ancylostoma braziliensis. In the calometric amperometric method for chloride, how is the amount of chloride measured? Time needed to reach the titration endpoint. What is the principle of the antibody screen procedure?
Eh? So solid.
Patient serum with radiant red blood cells. Which other abnormal laboratory finding is seen in myeloid metaplasia? Increased uric acid. Which of these potassium values would be termed hypokalemia? 3.0 mol. T cells are involved with which of the following? Cell-mediated immunity. CBC results are as follows: WBC 6.5, RBC 1.69, HGB 9.1, HCT 22.8, MCV 135, MCH 53.8, MCHC 39.9. What is the most likely cause of these results? Cold agglutination. The RPR test is rotated at what speed for what length of time? 100 RPMs for 8 minutes. Which one of the following is a DNA virus? Herpes viridor. NTD4 plus RH controlled 0. What is the most appropriate interpretation of these test results? The patient is RH positive. What is the frequency of the D antigen? 85%. Which of the following is the Friedewald formula by which low-density lipoprotein cholesterol can be calculated? LDL cholesterol is cholesterol. Which of the following is found in the yeast phase of Sporthrich-Schenke on culture medium at 37C? Cigar-shaped yeast cells. Which one of the following positive tests would be indicative of onset of a viremic state? HBsAg. What is the principle of the Davidson heterophil antibody test? Differentiates 3 types of heterophil antibodies. Which plasma protein binds free hemoglobin? Heptoglobin. Which test is increased in acute infection? Erythrocyte sedimentation rate. Serve as a screening test for allergies. IgE. Hermetic seal on a unit of packed red blood cells has been broken. How soon must the product be used if stored in the blood bank refrigerator? 24 hours. Which is the best single indicator of renal disease? Proteinuria. The term picket fence and Chinese letters describe the common arrangement of cells for which organism? Corynebacterium diphtheria. What indicates a positive DNA result after 0.1 NHCl is added to the plate? Clearing around the colony. Principle of the antitractylus inotube test. Hemolysis inhibition. Lab results on a known diabetic patient revealed a decreased bicarbonate and decreased telephone. Which acid-base disorder would most likely cause these lab values? Metabolic acidosis. At a pH of 7.4, most of the phosphorus in the body is in which form? Bone. Which one of the following women is a candidate to receive postpartum RHIG? Group A, Rh negative mother derived at Group O, Rh positive newborn. Bacteriostatic agents do which of the following? Inhibits the growth of the organism. Which hormone stimulates the renal production of vitamin D? Parathyroid hormone. How long must a plasmapheresis donor wait before donating whole blood? 48 hours. Antigen is most commonly tested for in the Rh system. D. Which fluorochrome gives off a red emission at 580 nanometers? Tetramethylrhodamine isothiocyanate. What is one advantage of performing the antiglobulin testing using low ionic strength solution instead of other enhancement media? Shorten incubation period. What is the abnormal variation in the size of erythrocytes known as? Anisocytosis. What is the normal range for a platelet count? 140,000 minus 440,000/all. Which enzyme is most greatly affected by hemolysis? Lactate dehydrogenase. The Porter-Silber reaction employs phenylhydrazine to detect which analyte? Corticosteroids. What is the dilution factor for performing a platelet count from a sodium citrate tube? 1.1. T-direct antiglobulin test using polyspecific antihuman globulin reagent is not of value in which one of the following instances? Diagnostic of Donat-Landsteiner syndrome. What does the tissue phase of Histoplasma capsulatum characteristically show? Tuberculate macroconidia. Immune antibodies are stimulated by all of the following except immune system reacting to the environment. Which of the following worms has an oral and ventral cup-shaped sucker in the adult stage? Trematodes. All of the following are required viral marker testing for HIV except HIV-1p24 antigen. Regulate the function of phagocytosis cells. Lymphokines. Fragile white blood cells seen in leukemia patients may cause pseudoleukopenia, which in turn may cause automated WBC and WBC estimate not to match. Which action should be taken if this occurs? Perform a manual WBC rheumatometer count. What are the OX19 and the OX2 antigens? Strains of Proteus vulgaris. The Davidson differential test of use is what type of blood cells? Horse. Which of the following is not used for the identification of mycobacteria? Spore formation. Oligoclonal banding during CSF electrophoresis. Multiple sclerosis. Not as surface markers for T cells. CD16.
CD16.
Which one of the following diseases is associated with hypoglycemia? Von Giertz disease. Cold agglutinins may develop after an infection caused by which organism? Mycoplasma pneumoniae. Probable blood type of this neonate and to be 3+. Group B. Which blood group system was discovered first? Although. Crystal identified by concentric circles. Leucine. Decreased alpha-fetoprotein values are associated with which conditions? Down syndrome. Which one of the following organisms is urease positive? Nocardia. An elevated creatinine value is most likely to be accompanied by which of these values? Elevated blood urine nitrogen 10x creatinine value. If an electrophoretic pattern shows 30% albumin, 4%-10% alpha globulin, 4%-10% beta globulin, and 45% gamma globulin, then what condition may exist in the patient? Monoclonal gammopathy. Which inhibitor inactivates coagulation factors through phospholipoprotein components? Lupus-like anticoagulant. When the most antibody is precipitated by the least amount of antigen. Zone of equivalence. What is the purpose of lanthanum and the atomic absorption determination of calcium? It will bind phosphate. Antigen and antibody are both free to move toward each other to form a precipitate in which immunological technique? One-dimensional diffusion. Which FAB classification of acute myelogenous leukemias is frequently associated with disseminated intravascular coagulopathy? M3. In the complement fixation test, the positive control should show which reaction? No hemolysis. Which of the following is a stain for neutral lipids? Oil redo. Anti-D plus, anti-C plus, anti-C plus, anti-E plus. What is the most common genotype that could result from the following phenotype? R1R. Random movement of antigen or antibody to form antigen-antibody complexes in semi-solid medium occurs in which immunological technique? Immunodiffusion. Group O mother and Group AB father have what probability of producing offspring that are Group A? 50%. A prolonged bleeding time with a normal platelet count indicates all of the following except which one? Bernard-Soulier syndrome. A cold agglutinin will usually have specifically for which antigen? I antigen. Which stain differentiates acute myelocytic leukemia from acute myelocytic leukemia from acute lymphocytic leukemia? Meloperoxidase. Most triglyceride producers involve the measurement of which end product? Glycerol.
Bush.
All.
Time up.
Which of the following is a metabolite of